to item 17, request by Michael Parrish for reinstatement of law enforcement certification.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the board. I'll keep this under 5 minutes. My name is Michael Parrish. I was revoked by this board in August of last year for my non-attendance at a Party 1 domestic violence call where I was on duty and I was on another call for service. The recommendation came from hearing officer Luis Medina. I went to a formal hearing to give my full side of the story, which was unfortunately not presented in the report you were given last August. In this matter, the hearing officer determined that I did not clear my call and respond to the domestic violence call. The hearing officer concluded that I was directed to respond to the call by the dispatcher and the supervisor and yet failed to do so. However, in making this conclusion, the hearing officer disregarded the witness's own admission confirming a dispatch from communications as an official order. As confirmed by the witness herself, when dispatch gives a directive to officers, such as a dispatch, it is construed as an order. The reality is I was complying with the duties of my position, following APD policies and its requirements that I obey the dispatcher as much as if the order were coming from the chief of police, which the witness personally confirms and admits. The witness testified that prior to arriving at the domestic violence call, she pulled up her squad on the police unit's computer and saw that I was logged on another call. Yet she did not give me any order to clear and to respond. The witness also further confirmed that had I not obeyed the dispatcher's order sending me to another call for service and had responded to her call instead, I would be committing another violation. I was clearly in a predicament where there was no outcome beyond criticism by the only witness that testified against me. Mr. Bonita also stated that evidence also suggests that a respondent's failure to respond to a Party 1 domestic violence call indicates he is possibly afraid of getting hurt. In the formal hearing, the witness testified she knew me as an officer who touted ground fighting skills, that her and I have always had a good working relationship, and that we've taken several calls together in the past. Furthermore, having worked the streets of Albuquerque for 11 years, the allegation of me being afraid was still on the report, despite the agency sending me for a full fitness for duty, which was done by Dr. Pete DeVosto, in which I was deemed fit for duty with no concerns or recommendations. Since my revocation, I've been working at the Bernalillo County Juvenile Detention Center. We don't house petty thugs and shoplifters. We only hold the most violent and dangerous youthful offenders who regularly threaten staff and want to fight. So to conclude that I'm afraid and I won't back up another officer is bizarre and utterly false. Even though Mr. Linthicum recommended a term suspension of my certification, Mr. Medina recommended revocation without any aggravating circumstances to support it. During the formal hearing, I testified to several mitigating factors that fall under this board's own rules, but they were left out of the report provided to you. Lastly, the hearing officer refused to accept lapel camera video evidence that I attempted to provide him with on a flash drive that would have cleared me and proven the allegations against me were false. Based on the multiple errors in the hearing officer's analysis and several contradictions and inconsistencies in the witness's testimony, I respectfully ask you to reinstate my certification so I can return to work with another agency. In closing, I want you to know that I have a love and passion for this profession and that I'm willing to go through any training or retraining to prove I am not the person that the agency or the hearing officer claims that I am. And I can assure you I do not lack any good moral character. Thank you for your attention. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Parrish. We'll take your statements under advisement as we move into closed session.
Thank you.
At this time, this portion of the meeting, the board will enter into closed session to discuss disciplinary matters pursuant to the Open Meetings Act, exceptions related to licensing and administrative adjudicatory proceedings, MSA 1978, sections 10-15-1, H1 and 3. All right, we'll come back into open session. During the closed session, no votes or actions were taken on behalf of the board. We'll resume with our agenda on our disciplinary matters. If I can get organized here. We'll resume with item number 15. In fact, I'll address item number 15, 16, and 17 requests for reinstatement of law enforcement certifications. The board will take no action on these requests as there's no process currently in place for reinstatements of certifications.